Little sparks of static sketching on the wall. Roads lights amber like a filament glow. Pads lean open in the midnight slopes. The kick is patient, snare a velvet tap. I slip between the measures like a gentle map. Four chords revolve with a confident ease. A quiet constellation that invites me to breathe. Leave the doors on hush and the headlines straight. I keep a simple orbit, I don't need to sway. The world trades volume for a borrowed proof. I'll stay where style is calm and the pulse is truth. In this amber loop, I'm aligned and aware. Every crack will count in time and tender air. We move like dust in a long sunbeam, laid back, balanced, riding one clean theme. If neon begs louder, let neon bloom. I carry my center through the amber. Fog curls, handwriting of rain. The city hum softens to a distant train. I mark the rim of a porcelain thought. Spin it once more and it opens a knot. Hi-hat whispers stay inside the tone. I learn how to share what can't be overshown. The bass line nods with a subtle salute, and I walk the corridor as cadence roots. Let the quick steps rush to a faster lane. I wear my patience like a well-fit plane. Confidence is quiet when the grid is smooth. Imperfection paints the edges where the colors move. In this amber loop, I'm aligned and aware. Every crack will count in time and tender. We drift with the paths like a linen tide. Four chords, one promise, nothing to hide. If the thunder rehearses, it's silver proof. I keep my weather in the amber. Maximal care, soft-spoken syllables, breathable air. If a tone comes frayed at the woven seam, that's the human shining through the dream. Page turn hush and a kettle sigh. I underline the margin where the answers lie. No fireworks welded to a midnight sky, just steady rhythm and a faithful reply. Pop, hiss, a star of grain. Little galaxies inside the rain. Yeah, in this amber loop, I'm steady and clear. Every needle-born sparkle pulls the moment near. We glide in time where the night moves slow, with roads like lanterns in a gentle row. Let the city keep spinning, it's billboard proof. I'm home in the hum of the amber. Shadows fold like linen sails. If tomorrow runs hard, I'll move soft and true. Four chords, one breath, coming back to you. Sweet shadows on the windowsill. Final embers crackle while the night stands still. Roads lights amber like a bedside flame. Pads breathe slow and write a softer frame. Kick walks even with a pocketed toe. find a graceful bend. I settle in the circle I can comprehend. Leave the neon sprint to the farthest street. I keep a smaller cadence where the heart can meet. Confidence is hush on a faithful groove. You don't need noise when the truth can move. Candlewick Tempo, warm and low. Every pop in the record is a firefly glow. We drift with the dust through a honeyed room. Stylish and restrained while the echoes bloom. If thunder auditions for a brighter show, I got my calm in a Candlewick Tempo. Steam draws halos on a kettle lid. Clock hands whisper everything they did. My voice is linen folded edge to edge, resting on the roads like a living pledge. Baseline nods with an old world grace. Hi-hat brushes carve a breathing space. Four steps turning like a lantern wheel, guiding all the edges that the day can't heal. Let the headlines flare and then fade to blue. I keep a measured pattern I can answer to. When the loop is honest, I don't have to prove. Style is how you breathe in a patient mood. Candlewick Tempo, warm and low. Every fleck in the vinyl is a soft halo. We move with the pads like a linen tide. Four notes, one promise, nowhere to hide. If the avenue begs for a brass tableau, I keep my pose in a Candlewick Tempo. Minimal motion, maximal care. I polish every margin till it wants to share. If a tone shows threads at the woven seam, that's the human light in a quiet dream. No fireworks sold to a velvet night, just faithful meter and forgiving light. Crackle like drizzle on an old cafe sign. The needle writes weather on a midnight line. Road spills amber in a gentle pour. Pad swing curtains on the quiet door. Kick finds cadence, snare turns kind. I lean on the pattern and unhook my mind. Four chords revolve with a tailored grace. I wear that confidence like a well-cut lace. Let the headlines sprint in a neon race. I keep a smaller, steadier pace. When the loop is faithful, I just move through. Style isn't louder, it's honest and true. Down Grainlight Boulevard, I'm drifting in time. Every pop in the record keeps a subtle rhyme. We walk with the dust where the night is slow, cooling our patience, easy in our glow. If thunder rehearses its silver parade, I'll keep my lane in the quiet shade. house in the watercolor haze. Street lamps smudge in the amber malaise. My voice is linen that won't need starch. It hangs on the air like a careful arch. Bassline strolls with a pocket of ease. The hi-hat shivers like a minor breeze. Four chords again like a compass old, pointing to a calm I already hold. Leave the crowd to chase the bigger cheer. I'll take a measure that brings me near. If a note shows threads on the fray inside, that's the proof of a heart that never lies. Down Grainlight Boulevard, patient and clear. Every fleck in the vinyl pulls the moment near. We float like lanterns on a sheltered stream, stylish in restraint, faithful to the theme. If the skyline demands a brass cascade, I answer soft from the quiet shade. Maximal feel, a steady bar that lets the edges heal. Page turn, hush and a kettle sigh. I underline margins where meanings lie. No need to gild every corner of night. Leave room for silence to carry the light. Four little doors in a looping square. I open them slowly and breathe the air. Pause, hiss, tiny stars of grain, mapping secret neighborhoods of rain. Down Grainlight Boulevard, I keep my flow. Every crackle is a lighthouse glow. We move with the pads like a linen tide. Four chords, one promise, nowhere to hide. If tomorrow runs faster than I have planned, I'll hold this tempo in the palm of my hand. Stylus rest, the room says stay. Shadows fold the noise away. When the day calls louder, I'll answer true. Four chords, one breath, coming back to you. Drift slow along a painted pier. Vinyl rainfall humming like a Buddhist cheer. Road spills amber in a harbor light. Pads hold ties where the minutes get quiet. Kick taps steady like a rope on wood. Snare says easy like a watchman should. For calm changes swing a gentle arc. I birth my voice where the water goes dark. Leave the ocean highway to the storm brigade. I keep a smaller channel where the pulse is made. Confidence is ballast in a faithful groove. No need to shout when the tide can move. In this harbor loop I'm anchored fine. Every pop in the record is a lighthouse sign. We sway with the dust like boats at rest. Stylish in the hush where the wind moves best. If thunder parades on the outer blue, I keep my course in a harbor loop. Kettle whistles like a distant horn. Steam draws charts where the lines are warm. My voice is linen on a coiled up rope, wound to the rhythm of a patient hope. Baseline walks with a dockside grace. Hi-hat shivers like a soft lace. Four notes circle like a current's hand, showing me a map I can understand. Let the fleet chase speed in a neon wake. I'll read the smaller ripples that the slow waves make. When the loop is honest, I don't have to prove. style is breathing with a human move. In this harbor loop, I'm anchored fine. Every fleck in the vinyl is a guiding sign. We rock with the pads in a linen tide. Four tones, one promise, nowhere to hide. If sirens rehearse for a metal review, I keep my calm in a harbor loop. Minimal motion, maximal feel, soft-spoken craft on a cedar keel. If a note comes frayed at the woven seam, that's a weathered truth and a worthy dream. No fireworks welded to the maritime night, just a faithful meter and forgiving light. Pop, hiss, tiny stars of grain, mapping secret harbors in a gentle rain. In this harbor loop, I hold my glow. Every crackle pull and shoreline close. We drift through the hush where the lanterns bloom. Laid back center in a moored up room. If morning runs faster than I meant to do, I'll steer back slow to the harbor loop. Stylus rest, the room grows clear. Shadows fold kindly as the edge is near. If the day calls louder, I'll answer true. Four chords, one breath, coming back to you. City hums soft like a hallway sigh. Neon buried under a London sky. Rose lights rooms with a honeyed glow. Paths drift open and the minutes slow. Kick taps easy, snare says stay. I settle in the pocket where the doubts give way. Four chords circle like a lighthouse beam, finding every edge of a gentle dream. Let the headlines chase what the sirens sell. I keep a smaller truth I can hold and tell. Confidence is quiet when the loop is kind. Style is steady breathing with an unhurried mind. Under a linen skyline I'm moving clean. Every pop in the vinyl is a soft machine. We ride with the grain where the light moves slow. Cool in our patience, warm in our glow. If the avenue calls for a brass parade, I answer from the shade I've made. Taxi ghosts blur into watercolor lines. Kitchen clock whispers impatient time. My voice is tailored like a minimal code, resting on the chord tones of a careful note. Bassline strolls with a pocket of ease. Hi-hat shivers like a river breeze. Four chords again, a familiar door. I push it with a breath and step once more. Let the quicksilver stories flicker and fade. I stay in the weather that the roads has made. If a tone arrives frayed at the woven edge, that's a living vow, not a broken pledge. Under a linen skyline I'm moving clean. Every fleck in the vinyl is a soft machine. We drift with the pads like a moonlit tide. Four chords, one compass, nowhere to hide. If the skyline shouts for a thundercade, I keep my lane in the quiet. maximal feel, a gentle architecture that helps you heal. Page turned hush in a kettle steam, I underline the margins where the meanings gleam. No need to gild every corner of night, leave room for silence to carry the light. Pop, hiss, tiny constellations made of static sparks across the window shade. Under a linen skyline I hold my tone, every crackle keeping time like a metronome. We move through the dust like a soft parade, stylish in restraint, fearless in the fade. When tomorrow runs brighter than I meant it to, I'll keep this loop and come back to you. The record cools down to a lullaby hue, room folds gently like a tailored suit. If the city calls louder, I'll answer true. Four chords, one breath, coming back to you. Vinyl crackle falling like a field of grass. Roads glow low in the going gold. Paths spill water where the corners fold. Kick walks easy with a careful toe. Snare is velvet in a patient flow. A four-chord lantern turns without a sound. I settle in the orbit where the calm is found. Leave the headlines pacing in a neon lane. I keep a gentle pattern I don't need to explain. Confidence is quiet when the loop rings true. Every soft imperfection lets the color through. Needle that blue hour, guiding me slow. Every pop in the record is a lighthouse glow. We move with the grain, where the night breathes wide. Stylish and restrained, steady inside. If thunder rehearses on the far parade route, I hold my rhythm and fade the city out. Steam from the kettle writes a cursive line. My voice rides low like a second spine. Taxi ghosts drift like watercolor seams. Street lamps hum in their sodium dreams. Bassline nods with a subtle grin. Hi-hat whispers stay, let the hush begin. A circle of chords like a soft spun guide. I follow the geometry I trust inside. Let the fast lane rush with a borrowed roar. I keep a smaller cadence I can answer for. When the loop is honest I don't have to prove. Style is how you breathe in a measured groove. Needle that blue hour, guiding me slow. Every fleck in the vinyl is a lantern snow. We drift with the paths like a harbor tide. Four tones turning with a careful pride. If the skyline begs for a brass cascade, I answer from the shade that the road has made. Minimal motion, maximal care. I polish every margin till it wants to share. If a tone shows threads at the woven edge, that's a living vow, not a broken pledge. No fireworks stapled to a midnight sky, just faithful meter and a warm reply. Pop, hiss, a map of grain. Tiny constellations in a gentle rain. Needle that blue hour, I keep my glow. Every crackle pulling time in close. We move like dust in a like cotton sails. If the world asks louder, I'll answer true. 4 chords, 1 breath coming back to you. Needle drops off like a moth to the flame. Vinyl rain tapping out a humble name. Roads glows low like an ember in a jar. Pads drift open like a half-closed bar. Kick walks patient, snare wears suede. Hi-hat whispers where the edges fade. 4 chords orbit with a quiet pride. I slip into the pocket where the doubts subside. Leave the billboards loud in the far-off glare. I keep to the rhythm with the linen air. When the loop is honest, I don't need to prove. Style is how you breathe in a measured groove. Under paper lantern light, I'm steady and slow. Every pop in the record is a star-shaped glow. We float with the dust like a nighttime bloom. Easy on the tempo in a candlelit room. If the city begs thunder, let the city beat bold. I'll keep my calm where the soft keys hold. Window fog sketches a gentle decrease. Steam on the kettle sings in minor key. My voice takes velvet and folds it twice. Lays it on the melody, neat and nice. Bassline nods with a knowing grin. I trace the curve and turn again. 4 chords circle like a patient stare. Each step says breathe and I'm already there. Let the fast lane race with the frantic game. I stay in the loop with the softer frame. If a tone comes frayed at the woven seam, that's the human light in a living dream. Under paper lantern light, I'm steady and slow. Every pop in the record is a star-shaped glow. We move where the paths make a silver plume, and the roads keep warmth in the corner gloom. If the skyline shouts, let the skyline shout. I keep my center when the noise burns out. Minimal motion, maximal care. I polish silence till it wants to share. A note half-breathed is a diamond rung. I hang it in air like a word unsung. No fireworks welded to a winter sky. Just measured comfort and a clean reply. 4 doors open on a looping square. I walk them in circles and find repair. Pop, hiss, lattice work of grain. Handmade constellations in a vinyl rain. Under paper lantern light, I choose my pace. Every small imperfection holds a human trace. We sail in place where the night moves slow. 4 chords, 1 promise, a mellow glow. If tomorrow runs louder, I'll answer true. I'll keep my loop and come back to you. Stylus lifts, shadows fold their wings. Room exhales the simplest things. I close the lid on the tremble and hue. 4 chords, 1 breath, coming back to. Needle drops soft like a roof tint shower. Little sparks of static mark the midnight hour. Roads and amber spilling gentle wine. Pads like open windows where the breezes climb. I stitch my name into a patient groove. Four chords turning like a carousel moves. Cold on the chair, city on mute. I ride the pocket where the heart stays true. Leave the noise at the curb, let the lights run wild. I keep a simple cadence like a handwritten file. When the loop is honest, I don't have to prove. Style is how you breathe inside a steady mood. I'm a Polaroid in the rain, colors waking slow. Grain like little galaxies that only lovers know. Every click in the record is a lighthouse blink, guiding me ashore before I even think. If the skyline shouts for a victory parade, I'll hum my quiet anthem through the soft cascade. Window fog writes poetry in blurred white lines. My finger draws a river and the river shines. I speak in velvet, barely leave a mark, but the echo wears a halo in the listening dark. Confidence is hushed with a handsome spine, standing like a lamppost where the corners rhyme. The drummer says easy, the snare says stay, and I find a smaller world that holds a day. Leave the noise at the curb, let the lights run wild. I keep a simple cadence like a handwritten file. When the loop is honest, I don't have to prove. Style is how you breathe inside a steady move. I'm a Polaroid in the rain, colors waking slow. Grain like little galaxies that only lovers know. Every click in the record is a lighthouse blink, guiding me ashore before I even think. If the city needs thunder, let the thunder play. My roads keeps the weather softly far away. Page turn hush of a midnight book. Steam draws rings where the kettle shook. If a tone comes torn at the fraying seam, that's the truth arriving in a human theme. Minimal motion, maximal care. I polish the silence till it wants to share. Four chords circle like a patient stare. Each step a breath and I am almost there. Hear the dust confess, tiny stars of grain. Listen how the skyline loosens every chain. I'm a Polaroid in the rain, set to slow reveal. Warming in the open like a heart that heals. Every pop is a breadcrumb on a mellow street, leading me to comfort where the soft drums meet. Let the headlines echo and the sirens glow. I'll keep my loop and let the gentle colors grow. Crackle to the fade, city washed and clean. I close the window softly on the in-between. If tomorrow runs faster, I'll move in measured hue. Four chords, one breath, coming back to you. ride inside the midnight air. Rose draws rectangles of honey flare. Paths trace circles where the minutes slow. Drums chalk dotted lines for the heart to follow. I place my voice on the measured plane. A low lit axis through a gentle rain. Four chords orbit like a compass true. I stand at the center and the shapes come through. Leave the scatter out there in the flashing news. I keep a clean design I know how to use. Confidence is angles that don't need praise. Just a steady loop and forgiving haze. Quiet geometry, sketch me in time. Every pop in the record is a soft guideline. We glide along the arcs where the night holds still. Stylish in the margins, patient in the will. If the boulevard shouts for a thunderous plea, I stay with the curve of a quiet geometry. Quiet geometry. Ladders on the kitchen light. Taxi echoes cross like a lattice of night. My voice is cotton with a tailored seam, resting on the chord tones like a balance beam. Hi-hat whispers with a chalk soft tick. The snare signs cursive in a velvet flick. The bass draws parallel lines below, keeping all the distances kind and slow. Let the crowd chase corners that shimmer and fade. I hold to the cadence that the loop has made. If a note comes frayed at the woven edge, that's the proof of a hand in a living pledge. Quiet geometry, sketch me in time. Every fleck in the vinyl is a subtle guideline. We move with the grain where the light hums low. Four chords, one axis, nowhere to go but inward where the angles agree and style becomes breath in a soft degree. In a soft degree. Minimal motion, maximal feel. A square of patience, a circle to heal. Page turn hush and a kettle sigh. I underline margins where meanings lie. No need to gild every corner of night. Leave space for silence to carry the light. Pop, hiss little points of rain, plotting constellations on a tender plane. Quiet geometry, keep me aligned. Every crackle, keeping time refined. We drift on the pads like an evening tide, measured and mellow with an easy pride. If the sirens draft a bolder decree, I'll hold my line in quiet geometry. Quiet geometry. Stylus rests and the room grows clear. Shadows fold neatly as the edge is near. If tomorrow runs louder than my heart can be. Four chords, one breath. Return to geometry. Needle drops soft like a moth to the flame. Vinyl rain tapping out a humble name. Roads glow slow like an ember in a jar. Pads drift open like a half-closed bar. Kick walks patient, snare wears suede. Hi-hat whispers where the edges fade. Four chords orbit with a quiet pride. I slip into the pocket where the doubts subside. Leave the billboards loud in the far-off glare. I keep to the rhythm with a linen air. When the loop is honest, I don't need to prove. Style is how you breathe in a measured groove. Under paper lantern light, I'm steady and slow. Every pop in the record is a star-shaped glow. We float with the dust like a nighttime bloom. Easy on the tempo in a candlelit room. If the city begs thunder, let the city be bold. I'll keep my calm where the soft keys hold. Window fog sketches a gentle decree. Steam on the kettle sings in minor key. My voice takes velvet and folds it twice. Lays it on the melody, neat and nice. Bassline nods with a knowing grin. I trace the curve and turn again. Four chords circle like a patient stare. Each step says breathe and I'm already there. Let the fast lane race with a frantic aim. I stay in the loop with a softer frame. If a tone comes frayed at the woven seam, that's the human light in a living dream. Under paper lantern light, I'm steady and slow. Every pop in the record is a star-shaped glow. We move where the pads make a silver plume, and the roads keep warmth in the cornered gloom. If the skyline shouts, let the skyline shout. I keep my center when the noise burns out. Maximal care, I polish silence till it wants to share. A note half breathed is a diamond rung. I hang it in air like a word unsung. No fireworks welded to a winter sky, just measured comfort and a clean reply. Four doors open on a looping square. I walk them in circles and find repair. Pop, hiss, lattice work of grain. Handmade constellations in a vinyl rain. Under paper lantern light, I choose my pace. Every small imperfection holds a human trace. We sail in place where the night moves slow. Four chords, one promise, a mellow glow. If tomorrow runs louder, I'll answer true. I'll keep my loop and come back to you. Stylists lift, shadows fold their wings. Room exhales the simplest things. I close the lid on the trembling hue. Four chords, one breath, coming back to you. Breeze in tiny sparks align. Silk static stitching through the midnight time. Rose pours amber in a gentle stream. Path hold curtains on a quiet dream. walk slow with a confident toe, snare where suede where the soft winds blow. Four chords turning like a patient wheel. I slip into the pocket where the hours heal. Leave the billboards loud in a distant hue. I keep a smaller circle I can wander through. When the loop is honest, I don't have to prove. Grace is how you breathe in a measured groove. Silk static on the line, I'm steady and clear. Every crackle pulls the moment near. We move with the dust like a lantern's glow. Stylish and restrained where the night moves slow. If thunder wants trophies for a neon crowd, I'll keep my calm and never play it loud. Window writes poems on a fogged up pane. Kettle hums gently like a minor rain. My voice in linen folded edge to edge rests on the roads like a faithful pledge. Bassline nods with a knowing grin. Hi-hat whispers stay, let the quiet win. Four chords again like a compass old, pointing to a warmth that I already hold. Let the deadlines race down the flashing street. I keep a tempo where the heart can meet. If a tone shows threads at the woven seam, that's the human shining through the dream. Silk static on the line, I'm steady and clear. Every pop in the record draws the moment near. We glide with the past like a linen tide. Four chords, one promise, nowhere to hide. If the skyline makes thunder in a metal shroud, I answer soft and never play it loud. Minimal motion, maximal care. I polish every margin till it wants to share. Page turned hush in a porcelain ring. I underline the silence where the meanings sing. No fireworks welded to the velvet night, just a faithful meter and forgiving light. Pop, hiss little stars of grain, mapping quiet neighborhoods of rain. Silk static on the line, I keep my glow. Every faint imperfection lets the colors show. We move like dust in a long sunbeam, laid back center in a confident scheme. When tomorrow runs faster than I plan to do, I'll hold this loop and come back through. Stylus lifts the room, exhales, shadows fold like linen sails. If the world asks louder, I'll answer true. Four chords, one breath, coming back to you. Streetlights paint halos on a sleepy lane. Vinyl pop like drizzle at the window pane. Roads blooms warm like candle candle in my chest. Pads drift wide until my pulse to rest. Keys keep circling, elegant and sure. Four-chord compass I can still endure. Coffee stains a map on the open air. I hum along like I got time to spare. Let the headlines blur, let the engines fade. I walk a simple pattern I don't need to change. Quiet isn't empty when the groove is true. Every soft imperfection lets the colors bloom on soft focus avenue. I move in slow design. Every crackle is a footstep keeping pace with mine. I glide across the dust like a dancer in the rain. Stylish in my certainty, unhurried by the train. If the night wants neon, let the night ignite. I hold a velvet center in the middle of the light. Taxi ghosts ripple through the afterglow. Their tires write cursive on the rolling road. My voice is linen folded, clean and mild. I sing inside the loop like a confident smile. A ring on the rim of a porcelain thought. Turn it once again and it opens like a lock. The drum says breathe, the hi-hat says stay. And I learn how to linger without drifting away. Let the headlines blur, let the engines fade. I walk a simple pattern I don't need to change. Quiet isn't empty when the groove is true. Every soft imperfection lets the colors bloom on soft focus avenue. I'm moving slow design. Every crackle is a footstep keeping pace with mine. I glide across the dust like a dancer in the rain. Stylish in my certainty, unhurried by the train. If the world wants thunder, let the thunder roll. My roads keeps the weather gentle in my soul. Sandalwood breath in the apartment air. Books half open like a tender prayer. I don't need fireworks soldered to the night. Just a faithful meter and forgiving light. If a note comes frayed at the woven edge, that's a vow remembered, not a broken pledge. Confidence is quiet, it never begs to be seen. It wears small jewelry and moves between. Hear the needle kiss, hear the soft decay. The static draws constellations I can't name on soft focus avenue. I'm stepping line by line. Every pop in the record is a promise kept in time. We glide where the dust makes galaxies of grain, and the loop holds steady like a hand that remains. Let the city keep shouting its billboard glow. I keep my calm in the pocket and I never let it go. Fade on the keys, night fills the room. A hush like velvet and a crescent moon. If tomorrow asked faster, I'll answer slow and true. 4 chords, 1 breath, coming back to you.
soft midnight on a paper sky. Vinyl specks like pigment as the hours dry. Road spills honey down a cotton field. Paths blur edges where the echoes yield. Kick draws dots in a measured row. Snare signs cursive in a suede soft flow. 4 easy colors in a looping frame. I rinse my doubts in a tender rain. Leave the billboard glare to the chrome brigade. I keep a smaller canvas where the tones can fade. Confidence is quiet when the outlines breathe. You don't need gloss for the soul to read. Static watercolor, bleeding slow. Every pop in the record is a brushstroke glow. We move with the dust as the pigments roll. Stylish in the margins like a hand-drawn home. If thunder insists on a lacquered scene, I keep my wash in a gentle green. Steam climbs ladders on a kitchen light. Tea leaves settle like a calm inside. My voice is linen with a penciled seam, resting on the roads like a careful dream. Bassline shades with a graphite hand. Hi-hat flickers like a silver strand. 4 chords turning on a cotton wheel, binding all the corners that the day can't heal. Let the quicksilver stories ripple and fade. I stay with the gradient the night has made. When the loop is honest, I don't have to prove. Style is patience in a quiet move. Static watercolor, bleeding slow. Every fleck in the vinyl is a soft tableau. We drift with the paths like a moonlit wash. 4 notes, 1 promise, gentle and posh. If the avenue scans for a sharper sheen, I keep my tone in a softer green. Minimal motion, maximal care. I lift the tape where the borders wear. If a note comes frayed at the woven seam, that's the human fiber in the in-between. No fireworks stapled to a velvet sky, just measured color in a warm reply. Pop is tiny fields of grain, wet on wet, galaxies after rain. Static watercolor, hold me close. Every crackle keeps the edges loose. We move through the room like a quiet tide, laid back center with an easy pride. When morning runs brighter than I plan to be, I'll shade back down the soft degree. Stylus lifts the page, breathes through. Shadows dry in a gentle hue. If the day calls louder, I'll answer true. 4 chords, 1 breath, coming back to you. Finds a groove, little sparks in the dark. Final crackle like rain on a midnight park. Roads open slow, a bloom of amber light. Paths drift wide, drawing curtains on the night. Coffee steam curls, a ghost above the cup. I breathe the room in, let the day unclutch. 4 chord circle, steady as a pulse. I fit inside the pocket where the noise dissolves. Leave the rush at the door door, let the city fade. I write a simple pattern, I don't need to change. Confidence is quiet when the loop is true. Every soft imperfection makes the colors bloom. I'm floating on roads in a linen sky. Every pop in the record is a lullaby. We move with the dust where the light moves slow. Stylish in the stillness, letting margins grow. If the world wants louder, let the world be loud. I keep my calm like a secret in a crowded town. Street lights smear like watercolor lines. Taxi hum turns into patient chimes. Finger on the rim of a porcelain thought. I trace a gentle circle around what I am not. My name in the glass, breathing leaves a mark. I'm learning how to love a beautifully flawed spark. Four chords again, little orbit of grace. The chorus comes back like a friend I face. Leave the rush at the door, let the city fade. I write a simple pattern, I don't need to change. Confidence is quiet when the loop is true. Every soft imperfection makes the colors bloom. I'm floating on roads in a linen sky. Every pop in the record is a lullaby. We move with the dust where the light moves slow. Stylish in the stillness, letting margins grow. If the world wants thunder, let the thunder roll. I keep a velvet center in my steady soul. I don't need 100 shining signs tonight, just a faithful meter in a human life. If a note comes frayed at the woven edge, that's a promise kept, not a broken pledge. I wear my patience like a well-cut coat, minimal and warm in the words I wrote. Four chords, four doors to a quiet room. I cross each threshold and the doubts resume. Then soften, then loosen, then vanish like smoke, leaving only the heart and the simplest spoke. Hear the needle kiss, hear the soft decay. Little stars of static map a tender way. I'm floating on roads in a linen sky. Every pop in the record is a lullaby. We move with the dust where the light moves slow. Stylish in the stillness, letting margins grow. Let the world keep spinning in its neon glow. I'll keep my loop, I'll keep my mellow flow. Crackle to the fade, hush of amber rooms. I set the stylus down and let the night resume. If tomorrow asks louder, I'll answer soft and true. Four chords, one breath coming back to you.